a video where I'm going to be talking about, as you can see by the title, what it was like getting a septum piercing and basically how I learned the ins and outs of what it's like when it's healing, what to do for cleaning and all of that. And I have a lot of experience with piercings because I had a nose piercing twice before. So in one of my previous videos I was talking about how I got a nose piercing in November, if I'm not mistaken, and then about 2 days later I got my septum piercing, which is probably crazy to people who haven't had piercings before. But then again, I don't know, it's not masochistic, but I just have a high pain tolerance, and I don't know, I didn't feel anything. I feel like I answered this in one of the Q&A videos. I basically just felt a pinch, and I feel like the anticipation for getting a piercing is always worse than getting the actual piercing, because you always be like, oh, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt, and then once they pierce your nose, you're like, I oversold that. I genuinely didn't feel anything when they pierced it, but one of the things that I would have to say is make sure you wait. Now, this might confuse some people. I so badly, oh, and by the way, if I look pale in this video, I apologize. It's just, this is the room that has the best lighting today, and this is what we have to work with. I mean, I'm pale all the time, so at least the bronze is doing some magic. But it was something that I didn't want. I didn't want to wait specifically for the septum piercing, but I ended up having to. And by the time I realized, like, look, okay, they are not doing the capsule endoscopy this year because clearly it keeps getting postponed, I want to get my piercing. And by the time I realized that, it was already Black Friday, like, coming up, and there were so many places that were having specials. So much has happened since I got that piercing, like, so much. December was so busy, the beginning of this month was so busy, or this is gonna come out like later, but the beginning of January was so busy, so I can't even recall price. But I know it was on special. I think it was 180, and I can't remember. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is cleaning and self, like aftercare and all of those things, because one of the things that shocks me is a lot of people get piercings and then they don't know how to clean them. Don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself in that situation, because that is possibly one of the worst situations to put yourself in, because you have newly pierced skin that's going to heal. It's technically a wound, might be tiny, but it went through skin, bro. It went through skin, and it's open. That's clearly a wound. So you need to treat this wound until it's healed. One of the things that a lot of people told me when I was getting my piercings is, like, when you clean it, you must use a salt water cleanse, or you must use tea tree oil. And I tried those. I tried them. But obviously it's different for everybody. So I have very, very, very sensitive skin. Like, I'm talking, she don't tan, she burns, that kind of skin. So it's very sensitive skin. And one of the things that I was scared about is what chemicals you're going to be putting on your piercings to clean them. So when you get a piercing, be 100% sure that you're not putting fake stuff in your piercing, wherever it is. Whether it's on your nose, whether it's your septum, whether it's your helix, whether it's your lobe, whatever. Make sure, like, it's safe to stick with, like, stainless steel. I know that's one of the cheapest ones. Some people go for platinum, some people with platinum or titanium or whatever. But yeah, Don't go for the cheap things. Trust me, when they rust in your ear, not only is it extremely painful, it also prolongs the healing period of your piercing. So it differs person to person whether you can use a tea tree oil or surgical spirits or things like that. And what I would usually do for those kinds of piercings is don't use like a tissue or even a cotton, like those pieces of cotton. Don't use those. That cotton wool stuff, it will get stuck in your piercing and it will hurt like hell trying to get it out. Don't use those. My best opinion, well, from what I use, a lot of people use different things, but what I generally use, I use like cotton earbuds. Basically, you dip that in, like if you're going to use tea tree oil, you dip it in that. If you're going to use surgical spirits, you dip it in that, and that helps you be able to move around more and clean it easier rather than using a tissue or cotton wool itself. It will get stuck in your piercing and it will hurt like hell trying to get it out. And this is something that I saw a lot. Like before I got my septum piercing, I watched a couple of videos, and this is something I saw a lot when it came to like what you'll notice in the healing period of having a septum piercing, and that's what they call, I think, crust or crusting, which at first I was like, oh, okay, it's a bit of skin, I mean, you can just scrape it off, what's the big deal? The thing is, it happens when your piercing is healing the most, when it's the most sore, the most sensitive. That I didn't think of. Because, and it's not crazy, if you're cleaning your piercing every single day, it should be fine. Like, when you have a new piercing, my best thing is I clean it 3 times a day for like a week, and then after that week you can do it like twice a day, like morning, evening, and then after maybe about 2 months or so you can clean it like once a day, because I mean it won't be making any, like usually either you get liquid coming out or there'll be a little bit of blood that still shows, or you know, things like that. So honestly, after like, I mean, I got mine probably end of November, so it's been maybe a month and a half now, and I clean mine once a day because they've already healed that much. It really differs person to person, and I was just not prepared for what the crusts were like, because even though you're cleaning it, when my best advice is hold onto the piercing, for septum piercing specifically, because that's what makes the crusts when it's healing. Hold onto it specifically when you're cleaning it with the crusts. Reason I'm saying this is because it's very easy that if you're busy cleaning one side and you're trying to scrape off the crust with like whatever chemical you're using, whether it's the tea tree oil, the surgical spirits, or the salt water scrub, what. If you're busy scraping off the crust, whatever, on this side, it could easily move the piercing and try to pull the crust on this side on the skin through the hole. Yeah, that happened once. I will never let that happen to myself ever again. It was so painful, and because it's still healing, you have to be very careful. So what I would recommend is like what I said, hold on to it as you're busy cleaning the one side, and then hold on to it and clean the other side. Best thing I could say, because boy was it painful to learn that on my own. But it's been a fun experience so far, because now it's barely, I forget it's there. That's how much it's healed. I forget it's there. Make sure that you do your research before you get piercings. Like, the internet is your oyster. Go nuts. You have Google, you have all these apps, you have YouTube, you can search anything you want. Hell, you can probably search like a bee wrapping itself in a flower and you'll probably find something there. So that's what I did for all of my piercings. It's always good to make sure, like, don't just watch one video and go, okay, this person must be right. Watch more than one video, and that's what I did. I watched more than one video, specifically people who worked in these like piercing stores, and most of the time it'll be like a tattoo and piercing place that will do it. So one thing I learned is that they will do all piercings, well, majority of them, with needles. And it's not a needle like a needle that you sew anything or knit or what. It's more like a long ass needle. But you don't even notice it, trust me, you don't even notice it. In case you're considering getting a piercing and you're just hearing, oh my gosh, it's a needle, you don't even notice it. It's there for like 5 seconds and then your piercing's in and you're done. If you have fresh piercings, try to avoid swimming in like the ocean or in like a pool for at least a month, at least. The reason I'm saying this is because, like I said, it's a wound. It's something that's open that needs to heal. And putting those kinds of chemicals in there not only burns like a you know what, but it will make it take longer to heal. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. I hope this helped you guys. I know that I wanted to do this video for a while, but I had so many other things that I just wanted to get out of the way. Like, I know that first video that I uploaded for this year, that shocked some people. I had a lot of my friends go like, oh, you exposing them. I was like, of course. I mean, why not? Because I didn't mention names, but you know who you are. And I'm so happy that those videos are all coming out, because this is my platform. I absolutely have loved YouTube, like way back. I think I started watching YouTube 10 years ago. Let's see. Look, I'm not gonna say I'm old, okay? I'm turning 22 this year. I'm not gonna say I'm old, but I think I started watching it maybe 10 or 12 years ago. But I know I was very young, and by then you're watching your own nonsense. But it makes me so nostalgic. I would watch like Liza Koshy, I would watch Lily Singh. Oh, I would watch them on the daily. Like when they were regularly uploading, I would watch them on the daily. I started watching them. I would watch U2 TV. And if you don't know who that is, it's a couple. I think they got married last year. Look, my memory is very foggy. And I recently learned that, and I'm sure you guys are probably so sick of me saying PTSD, this and that and whatnot, but I've been learning from the doctors that a lot of the things that I've been experiencing has a lot of links to a lot of things. So I didn't realize like having foggy memories sometimes and certain things like that has to do with one of the things in PTSD. I didn't know because I have a really strong memory. Like I can remember stuff from when I was like 3 years old, which is nuts. But there are certain things like that your mind represses like in order to protect yourself, but then there are certain things that you don't even know you repressed. So you're like, I know this, but I can't remember. So that sucks. But I think their names are, I think the guy's Harjeet and I love the girl so much and I can't get to her name. But I love her so much. I love those guys, like YouTube TV, and then eventually I started watching more. So I would watch like Nikita Dragon's makeup videos. It's making me so nostalgic. Like the things I watched over the years, like Markiplier, Rosanna Pansino, the Try Guys. Oh gosh, there's so many. Like my brain is flooding. There's so many. Like that I watch to this day. I'll even go back and watch videos from like 8 or 10 years ago and still watch them because that's how much I genuinely love these YouTubers. Like the Middle Twins, oh, I absolutely love them. I watch their videos. I watch, oh my gosh, there's so many. Oh, I love Laura DIY. I watch her, and I like, there's a lot of people that I found based from watching other YouTubers, like based from watching the Try Guys. That's how I learned who Laura DIY was, and I started watching her. She has a vlog channel and a main channel. I started watching her. Absolutely love her. So excited for her wedding. I absolutely love her videos. And they also have like a podcast. Look, in South Africa we say podcast. In America they say podcast. So if I say it wrong and you're overseas, I apologize. Like, you're probably wondering, like, now the Afrikaans accent is coming out when I just said wondering. I apologize. And I know the Try Guys, they also have their own podcast. I think they call it the Plog, because it's like a podcast vlog. So I also watched that. And I watch Ryland and Shane. And it was through Ryland that I learned who Shane Dawson was. And I know lots of people have been watching for years, and I think I only started watching them like maybe 2-3 years ago. And they also got married and they have babies now. It's so bloody cute, and it's from them that I learned who Ryland's sister Morgan was, and I started watching her videos. And girl, I feel you with that house renovation, because we have had to renovate our bathroom for probably a year now. And we're still nowhere. So that's that. Like, I've been knocking out the tiles. There was a guy that came and took the bath out, but we still have to knock the brick around it. Like, there's so much that we still have to do in that bathroom, and that's still that bathroom. We still have the rest of the house to eventually do. So I feel you on that. And I know this is completely random, but this is just showing you guys that even though, yes, I post on YouTube, yes, I post gaming vlogs, it's that I have a genuine love for the platform since I was a child. So these YouTubers make me excited to create my own content, because I get to see how it makes them more confident, it makes them feel free to have a voice. And there's just so many. I feel bad. I know there's a lot I'm leaving out, but if I think I'm probably subscribed to over 200 people on YouTube. So if I have to actually say all the names, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a very, 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 very long time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I went off track there for maybe a few times, but I hope it helps somebody that's either considering getting a piercing or just got a piercing and is looking for tips for aftercare and all those things. But yes, like, subscribe, click that bell, because it's gonna come out every single Saturday at 10 a.m. and I hope you enjoy it.